So the end of the first Merge Tactics season without bots is finally here, and I am not going to be participating in the end of the season, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that and why I'm going to be doing that and why I think Merge Tactics is in a very, very bad position as far as RNG goes, and the fact that the game is very boring and repetitive, especially for those who are at top ladder and trying to become kind of known in the competitive scene of Merge Tactics. Now, I was originally going to be pushing to maybe the top 1,000, 2,000 towards the end of the season before the balance changes. I was really looking forward to it just because the meta seemed kind of fresh. You know, there was brawlers that were good, there were juggernauts that were good. I think there were a few other comps that were pretty decent as well, and it seemed like there was a lot of variety in the meta until the mid-season balance changes came in. Buffed Rangers, buffed Juggernauts, buffed the Queen and everything else, and it just made everyone realize how good Queen was, and from then on, it was just a race to see who could get a 4-star Dart Goblin with the Queen and Rangers, and then whoever did that first would win literally every single game if you could get perfect RNG, and it didn't take any skill. I mean, obviously, there was some aspect of skill because there's a reason why the same people are in the top 500 every single day, and it's not just because they have a ton of time. It's because they are still skillful players, they are able to adapt to the RNG, but that's only a little factor right now as how the game is in its current state. RNG is by far the most prevalent factor, much more than skill is. And the reason why is sort of because that Goblins rework absolutely just made it too easy to get a Dart Goblin. And Rangers is basically, if you don't get Rangers, you don't win the game. And I'm a Goblin Thrower player. I love Goblin Thrower. And I can't compete with those Ranger comps. And so I'm stuck aiming for second at best every game. And when I get bad RNG every couple games and I get fourth or third, that just wipes out a whole game that I've spent time playing, and it's very frustrating because it's going to get kind of boring and repetitive after a while. And no, I'm not horrible at the game. It's just, it's too repetitive, it's too boring, and there's not enough good meta comps to compete with each other to make the game feel fresh. I'm just doing the same thing every single game and hoping for a different result. That's literally the definition of insanity. I'm playing the same game over and over and over, and I'm expecting a different result and different RNG every single game. Now, I guess maybe that's not the best example, but it's still a big problem. And I don't know, I'm just really hoping that next season Supercell is going to be able to, or Merge Tactics or Clash Royale, whatever team is behind that, the devs, I hope that they can get a better balance between both the Queen and the Spirit Empress, because I enjoy playing the Spirit Empress more, and that they can get more comps that are balanced in the game, not Juggernauts. I mean, the CC immunity of Juggernauts right now either needs to be removed or it needs to just end when the shield ends. And I think that would be maybe a good compromise, is to maybe reduce the shield down to maybe 40% at 4 out of 4 or something. I don't really know what the shield is. I believe it's 50% at 4 out of 4 and then like 25% at 2 out of 4. I'm probably wrong on the 2 out of 4. But maybe a compromise where it's like 20% shield 2 out of 4 and 40% shield, maybe 35% shield 4 out of 4. And then the CC immunity is only for the shield. I feel like that would be a good rework, and I hope that the Merge Tactics balance team is really looking into this and realizing, hey, look, this meta is not very fun, especially if you're an Empress player typically and you're not as skilled as the top players, because obviously the top players, like people you see all the time in the top 500 or top 100, you know, Rune, all those people. I'm trying to think of other names, I can't, but they're super skilled with Empress, and they're actually able to use Empress despite Queen being chief. Now, this is only one day till the end of the season, so I'm actually not sure if the top players are using Queen or if they're using Empress. I would assume that a lot of them are going to stick with Empress just because of her late game versatility, but for the vast majority of players, it's not going to be sustainable for the Empress, and it's going to be super boring just playing Queen game after game after game, hoping for a Dark Goblin, hoping for Spear Goblins, hoping for Goblin Machines. It's super, super boring. And some of the modifiers this season that they've put out just have been atrocious. Like Master Arena, the least fun modifier in the game. I mean, whose idea was it to punish players for trying to strategically position their troops? That I can't stand it. It's not fun. It needs to be changed. They realized it wasn't fun and that they needed to change it mid-season, and they nerfed it, but they didn't nerf it near as much. I mean, that modifier just needs to be removed. I did see one thing. Maybe they're going to replace it with a team size modifier where it's like +1 team size or something. I don't know. And then I believe that they're going to try and do new content updates every 2 months, is that I kind of heard, is what a rumor was going to be of the new content or whatever. I think that's good for the game, but I also feel like a lot more thought needs to be put into the balancing. Making goblins, the goblin buff was terrible. Buffing a ton of traits that all synergize well with each other was just a bad idea. I would have loved to see maybe a buff to undead, maybe a buff to, maybe just keeping brawlers the same. But I think this meta would have been so much different if Juggernauts weren't CC immune. I think that the CC immunity was both keeping all the stun cards in check, but also was way too broken against stun cards, which I don't really know. Juggernauts is just a problem right now. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of deal with that, but it basically rendered Mage useless, it made Electric useless, it made stun cards, initial stun cards like the Prince useless, and all of your, troops that specialize on that early game damage, or early game CC, it just totally wiped them out. Like giant skeletons, severe nerf to that because the bomb basically took the shield away. Undead, undead is another trait that was greatly affected by Juggernaut. It basically just wiped out the shield and that's it, because the Juggernaut shield is 50%, the undead does 50% damage to troops. So the undead, you're getting absolutely nothing out of it. Now I would love to see maybe the undead, or maybe the CC abilities or the CC traits maybe going past the shield and affecting the core health of the unit, while the shield is still kind of full health and the unit is half health. I feel like that would be a decent compromise on the traits end, just so Juggernaut doesn't hard counter every single ability based trait in the game. And maybe even for Mage, I don't even know how you would work Mage out. Maybe just keep it the same for Mage, because maybe just keep that in as like a counter for Mage. I feel like that would be decent. But just a lot more thought needs to be put in to the balance changes. And super disappointed how the end of this season has gone. I really hope that there's balance changes to start the next season. Otherwise, I probably won't be doing a beginning of the season push. If there are balance changes, I'll make a beginning of the season push. I'll start making videos about the best comps. I'll try to find some for you guys. But right now, it's just really disappointing to see the state that the game is in meta-wise. And I will keep you guys updated with the best comps and everything. If they do a balance changes, like I said, I will do a new video. But that is all for me today. Just wanted to take some time to speak my mind a little bit. I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck on the end of the season for all you who are still playing, and peace.